Hello, gamers. Welcome to the Battling Barrow. This is the first in our Hobby Hangout series. We've got myself, we've got Mr. Kev Fairy and Barraclough, and a good friend to us, Mr. Mike Stacey. So, yeah, what we're going to be doing in these Hobby Hangouts is we're going to start working on a massive terrain project for Arnor for Middle-earth strategy battle game. So this first session is going to be basically us looking at our shared board on Pinterest, coming to a collective vision and working out what we want to make. So yeah, who wants to start us off, lads?
Well, considering I can't see Pinterest yet, over to you.
Okay.
So
yeah,
what's
Kev,
yeah?
have you got filming on your screen on Pinterest?
Hang on. Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I started us off down the bottom of the board with a few pins of this kind of overgrown ruins.
Do you want me to share my screen with Pinterest on it for you guys to see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, must.
Let's have a look.
Well.
Okay, let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, you want me to go down the bottom, yeah?
Yeah. So we've got the first couple of ones I put up. You see this one in the middle of your screen, Kev?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This one here?
No, in the middle at the bottom.
This one here?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, immediately when I saw that, I thought of when the Fellowship first set out and they're walking from Rivendell.
Is that long shot where it sort of pans round and it's like on the mountains? Because I love that.
Just before they walk over the brow of the hill and it goes da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a wicked description of it.
That was. I'm there.
But I saw this and it reminded me of the ruins there.
Yeah, I like that. I'm leaning in close so I can see it, being I'm blind.
Now, that part is up to interpretation. That could be parts of Arnor, but that could be parts of Holin or Holly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the remnants of Ostinedel and things like that. But I like the idea of the overgrown stonework ruins.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The same with, if we shoot back, on your right, that one. You know?
Yeah.
To me, that's got a very Ammon Hen.
It does with all the stairs. And instantly, I can tell I'm going to like it because it's got a bit of height to it. And you know what I'm like for height as well as going left and right. I like verticality.
Yeah, and you see, stuck in my mind from it, if you go back to the main board again, you see that one on the left at the bottom.
Oh yeah, from I like that site. Yeah. Oh.
That is, the bit at Ammon Hen when Aragon runs down the steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I envisioned that being when it's less ruinous.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that idea for like Arnor ruins.
So, Kev, you've discussed this before, haven't you, around gameplay and having pieces of terrain raised
Yeah.
to benefit the game. Now, I've not played for a few years now. What's the differences between playing on raised and then if you were at sort of base level?
There isn't much really. Well, apart from just the fun of it, apart from doing. Liam's probably better at this, doing crazy stuff. Where if I had models down the bottom of the steps and he was at the top, he'd jump down and do this really thematic kind of sort of charge, which kind of you don't get that. I know obviously it can go horribly wrong where you can mess up that jump down, and you don't get that on just a pure flat surface. So it's just
cool.
I like the craziness of it, the unexpected. And
do you remember when you just finished your mountainous board?
Yes.
And we had a game on that with
because that was like multi-steps. It was kind of like a It kind of went down, step down, went down, step down, and had little cliffs along the edge. It was like a mountainous board going up to a mountainside with cliffs on.
But the multi-levels to it, I think I was playing Rangers.
Yeah.
But the multi-levels to it, obviously, favoured archery, because you could get better line of sight on stuff like that. But like Kev said, just the way I play, I love cinematic moments. We agreed on house rules, and I would jump off of elevated platforms into combat, and things like that. I think
sort of Legolas skateboarding down the
craziness,
stairs,
kind of. Also, like when the orcs get through the gate at Minas Tirith, you see them running along some of the elevated platforms, and they just jump into the crowds of warriors and stuff like that.
Or there's that scene, is it Amon Hen, when Aragorn dives off the top of the seeing stone into a bunch of orcs. Yeah, he goes up the steps and jumps off of the seat. Yeah,
I think we did some. We just treated it like a throwing weapon, but at the strength of the model doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Which at the time just seemed simple, thematic, whatever. So those elevated levels to things, I think, are wicked. I think they rock. Kev?
Yes?
Just going to send you something in chat, but I'm just trying to work out how to do it. Or, better yet, I'll just tell you, the Minas Morgul statues at the end of the bridge?
Yes.
Yeah. You just grab us a picture of that. Because one idea I'm fond of, and it goes along with a scenario idea, is that as Arnor becomes Angmar, you have the gargoyle statue up the top row on your page, Kev.
Oh, yep. Oh, it's actually sharing still now.
Sorry?
Cool. It's actually sharing still. Yeah, cool. I didn't realise it'd come up.
Up the top.
Hang on. This one here?
Yeah. Yeah. We all know that statue, don't we? But the idea was that I had in my head is that the men of Arnor had placed statues like that along the borderline of Hangout as like a
warning
and a marker. And then the scenario I had in my head was that Gulliver had a big bat thing, who's really similar in design, who's meant to, in Games Workshop's lore, is a Arnorian Angmar beast, kind of hides in the dark of the night amongst the statues and is picking off rangers.
Yeah, I like that.
I think from their design of him and then looking at that statue is where I kind of tied it into maybe they were used as the markers for the border of Hangout.
Yeah,
good idea.
So I can do. I've got that statue that you gave me, Kev.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That I'm going to make a mould up of.
I guess we should explain to that. That was from a magazine that was out when the films were out. Lord of the Ring Collector or something. Yeah, I forgot about that.
The statues. Can you see that?
Yep. Yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah, so we can mold that up. We can cast it up.
Hold on, I'll be back again. The only miniature I can find on my workbench is day 9 foot, but so you can see the scale.
Sort of fits quite well, really.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually probably about 25 now. So yeah, I've always thought that would be great. And then the board that goes with it. Have you both got the old Arnor book?
Oh yeah. You were in a Arnor supplement book.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you remember, sorry, I've got to fish it out again. I should have been more prepared.
I mean, there's some great terrain pieces in there to draw inspiration from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always remember they had this sort of ravine and a gully where they dropped a log across.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to build that as a child.
Funny you should say that, because that's the one that always sticks out in my head from it. What do you mean when you were a child?
Teenager, you know what I mean?
Younger.
That's it.
Make me feel old.
You feel old, I know it makes me.
And I'm pretty sure Mike is older than me. I can't find a good picture of it, but it's that board.
Yeah, I remember that board in that book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a better picture of it, isn't there, Mike?
There is.
Isn't there like a double spread of it?
Yeah, there's a close-up. I've forgotten. It's either Arathorn stood on a fallen tree or
that
the last king. Yeah, that's last king of Arnor, isn't it?
Arvidru, that's the one.
That's it.
But yeah, something like that board, I was thinking, and then on the top of the like the high ground,
you'd have the statues.
You have the statues, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Nice.
That's
good idea.
The first kind of full board that's come into my head for this kind of thing. Yeah.
So would this be a purpose-built board, or would it be scatter terrain you place down in various configurations?
If you guys carry on, I'll grab something to show you.
He's got plans. He's got plans.
What do you normally build, Kev? Do you build sort of purpose-built boards, or is it all modular?
More modular. I'd love to have purpose-built boards, but my house isn't big enough.
Space,
Yeah. I did have some once, but I had to get rid of them because I just had nowhere to put them, and I was running out of room and
I can't do untidy.
And getting sworn at by the wife.
I've got about 3 or 4 6x4 foot boards in my mum's garage, and she's like, "If you don't take these, they're going to the tip."
Can you get rid of them?
Been saying that for 10, 12 years, Mum. Don't worry about
it. That's what your parents' garage is for, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Like, you're too senile to drive, so keep the boards in there.
You're not taking these to the tip.
So yeah, I'd do it like this.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You started that. Yeah,
these are
foot by foot things, aren't they?
MDF frames, laser cut from Sally Forth.
Yeah.
They're between £7 and £8, depending on the what design it is. But it's just cheap polystyrene in the fill it up.
That's all you need.
You know.
Would you, when you put those together, would you magnetise them, or do they?
Yeah, they come with magnets already in there. I don't know if you can see in the light.
Yeah, not really, but we'll take your word
Just
for it.
about see them.
But there's one I'm still working on.
Yeah, you see the magnets there.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, when you put that together,
so they're like the magnets you get in Hobby Zone stuff.
Say that again.
They're like the magnets you get in Hobby Zone stuff, kind of thing. About that big.
Yeah. But yeah,
that'll go in the outtakes. Don't worry.
They're really good for what they are. They go together whatever way. Like,
and they're purpose-built MDF frames, are they, or have you made them? So,
you know, and I started these. This is the only one I finished. With Arnor in mind. Yeah. So that's what I would do for the board. I think I'd have the two that I've got here with the cliff, like the rocky outcrops, and then I'd get one that is, I'd get two that are sheer cliff face on one end, and then on the other, so that you can put them together. So it's a long cliff face, or it's cliff face with a ramp down, whatever, and you can add them to that, and then you'd have that rocky hill effect going up. I think,
Nice.
So I think
cool.
I think that's what I'm gonna go for. First,
I'd say
is making that board and writing that scenario.
Cool.
Yeah.
How big is that board? Is it 4x4 or?
Well, these are 1x1.
Yeah.
I think I would do it as, for the purposes of the scenario, in my head, I want it to feel really claustrophobic because of the darkness and everything. So I think I'd maybe do it on a 3x4. So it's narrower than it is long.
And interesting size as well, because you don't really get to, don't think there is a scenario on a 3x4. That's interesting.
But to try and give the effect of the Rangers are sticking close together.
Yeah.
And it's kind of imposing darkness and, you know. Yeah.
Cool.
And just thinking it over, give them torches that they can see up to 6 inches from, but then Gulliver gets to just fly around silently in the darkness, picking them off like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do first. And I don't think at that kind of area there would be any building ruins or anything. There'd just be the borderline.
Yeah.
I might do some ranger tents or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to have
probably too small a board to put a stream through. Or...
Yeah, and I don't know if that area had that many rivers and streams. You know, because I'm thinking west a bit more from Misty Mountains.
Yeah.
So how many tributaries would you have? I think it would just be cool to have that kind of come up. I'll try and get the ravine in there somewhere.
Yeah, smart.
I've just got to work out by looking on Sally Falk's website what edging I can get that will let me do a cutaway ravine to add on. I'm sure I'll be able to find something. And if not, I'll just mod the back panel up in some way. But yeah, I think that's probably, I don't know, people can leave comments if they would like to see the build on that.
Yeah. I want to see the build on it. So I'm leaving a comment.
I mean, essentially it's going to be just a rocky, grassy board, but, and I know there's a million videos on that, but I haven't seen any on people doing it particularly with the modular Sally Falk.
No.
So yeah,
I think that'd be maybe a good one.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to open the floor up to one of you guys. Hopefully you've been inspired.
Do you want me to flip back to the actual Pinterest?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Just
I mean, moving along, a great idea for us all to do bits on and then bring together would be Fornost.
Yes, we've got loads of.
Yeah.
Award and North's good for that.
I've stuck some ideas in there for Fornost. I think if you scroll down just a little bit, keep going. I was just about to point at my own screen and expect you to know what I was pointing at. You're on it. You're hovering over
this one here, yeah.
Yeah, that I love that as the gate of Fornost, where it's been kind of misappropriated by the
time, yeah.
And they've got that kind of Moria-esque battered steel all over it, and
yeah, the sort of steel scales kind of thing.
Yeah.
What you spike.
See, I think that's a cool idea. You know the way that Dol Guldur is kind of because originally that was an elven fortress, and then in the film it's been repatched up with like bands of metal and stuff by the orcs, obviously.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool idea. So I was thinking for that more Fornost city kind of Arnor, you go with Gondorian architecture that we know and see in Minas Tirith and Osgiliath, but then you
corrupt it
by having it all repatched together.
Yeah.
And
so it's not really one design going on in this. There's going to be, you'll have a base design, as you said, of sort of Gondorian and Numenorian, and then we'll corrupt it up.
Yeah. You
How,
see,
how big do you reckon that board would be?
What, that gate?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up to whoever fancies building it, really, isn't it?
Let's go back to. You should work out from there if that's a.
I mean, if you think about it, we know the size of the Gate of Minas Tirith, which is massive. But that was their main fortified stronghold, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they had the Rammus, which was that, but Osgiliath, I know that used to be the capital, but that wasn't so fortified because it was within the Rammus. Do you know what I mean? Can you see what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Fornost was really the secondary city in the north.
So it's not going to be.
What was the other one called? Anuminus?
Something.
Yeah, it was on the lake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anuminus on the lake.
Yeah.
So then, would the gate for Fornost be a little bit smaller because it's the secondary city? I don't know. You'd want it to be a nice size, though.
So you're thinking of doing a gate and a wall section?
If I was going to make it, I would make the gate, the wall, and a tower. I'd make a mould of it, and then I would use the resin copies that I'd done to smash up and add bits on. That's how I would do it.
Be an easier way than keep on remaking something.
Yeah.
Make a master.
And you use the perfect gate as another point in history, or a gate further along the wall, or
Good idea.
Just trying to work out more how I would go about building it. I think I would do the brickwork with foam, like Styroderf foam, the green foam.
Yeah.
Ever seen that? I think I'd do it like that. I attempted to build the main bones of the structure in plastic card, and then cut thin sheets of Styroderf over glued on the top with the brickwork scored in.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'd do. And then for the metalwork, I'd use plastic card and sort of bend it and misshapen it and give it texture with a heat gun.
I was about to say, heat it up ever so slightly. Just an ever so slight heat on it.
Because if you look closely, those the panels across the what would be the gatehouse, they're reminiscent of Moria Goblin shields.
Yeah.
So how would you get the metal effect then? Because that's something I've never done in terrain building. Bricks, and wood I can master.
Yeah.
How do you master metal?
So like I was saying, I would do it with plastic card.
Okay.
'cause if you think about metal, it's brand new metal with smooth, clean edges, you know. So I'd cut the shapes out, and I would do the individual panels for it, and then with a heat gun, I'd bend them into the like concertina shape, and give them a bit of texture with the heat gun. So just leaving the heat gun on it a little bit too long, so it starts to bubble and dimple and stuff.
Cool.
I think that would work. I'd have to do a little experiment.
Yeah.
Little test piece.
So it's, yeah. See what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, and going back to the inside of Fornost, I've put some pictures on there from that
the War in the North game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it, to be honest with you, it feels like you could be in Osgiliath.
It's very similar, isn't it? I mean,
not like that. There's not loads of water.
Yeah.
But still, if you look closely, there's that patched together with the metal by the orcs in places. I like that idea for Arnor.
All these,
you know, they've kind of built their own walkways on what already exists.
there's other structures there, all very makeshift and haphazard.
And that's why I've shoved a few Minas Tirith buildings in.
Yes, because the architecture is going to be very similar, sort of all these things here. Are these actually?
I also like the idea of.
Are these 3D printed?
They are, yeah. It's a Patreon to get them.
Ah, right, yeah.
I've like, if you wanted to get hold of them, I can print them off. You know?
Oh no, yeah.
Maybe we could all go in on whatever the Patreon sub is for
just
whatever
to get that level, yeah.
Off and send them out to everyone. You see where that picture there that you're on?
Yeah.
The one below it.
The one below it.
Yeah. I really like the idea of the angles.
Yeah, as I say, I like that. You could have some sort of walls going off in the distance as well. You don't have to just leave it there. I actually really like that.
But it reminds me of the architecture in Kirifungal.
Yeah.
Which again was old Numenorian.
Yeah. I like that. I actually like that.
Yeah, it's a good one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, something about that. I think it's because it's sort of 3 levels of verticality there, with the ground, sort of the stairs going into the arches, and at the top of the parapet there. I like that.
Yeah. I think probably Fornost would be a great collaborative effort project.
Yeah, probably a lot for one person, isn't it?
Yeah.
To create all that. So.
Yeah.
I reckon if we all
did a couple of pieces each,
yeah, got to a collective idea of what it should look like, a collective concept, and then all built a few buildings, so then we could do like what battle was it when Glorfindel and all turn up at the Battle of Fornost to help out.
And they drive back the
Witch
King. Yeah.
And he gives the prophecy, no man will kill him.
Yeah.
I think that as a big end game board and scenario would be.
Was Fornost properly smashed up by then, or was it still?
I'd have to do research.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it was, But
if anyone knows, comment.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling it was, but if it wasn't, that was like towards the end of the battle of it all, so it would be smashed up. Yeah, I think that would be a great end board meet-up game.
Okay.
Do you think?
I think so.
I've always wanted to play Fornost.
Yeah.
As a battle board.
Well, it's something I've been wanting to do since I've known Liam.
I'm calling shotgun now on Glorfindel. Because he's one of my favourites. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I've got to say about the stuff that I put in there. On the board. I like that towered bridge that you put up recently, Mike.
Yeah, that seems quite Arnorian.
I've lost a window. Hang on.
As
a
design, but with
this here.
I don't know how it fit it into a game. I mean, I was thinking more of Farbad down where they have a bridge that leads into the city, but didn't know if they would have certain bridges like that would lead into settlements in Arnor, maybe.
See, I've always struggled with picturing Farbad, and looking at its placement on the map, and maybe something I read somewhere in a Middle-earth roleplay book, but an idea that struck me as really cool for it was pretty much the whole city is built on a bridge.
Yeah, I've read somewhere that it was obviously flooded, and without going to Lake Town-esque, it was raised up on plinths and
Bosquiliath.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do Lake Town made of stone.
Lake Town stones.
Yeah. Because that would have been a bit of a different battle for Bard.
That's it.
He's just sitting there playing songs on his guitar. No, that's the wrong kind of Bard.
That's it.
That's such a geeky joke. Farbad as a...
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily meant to be Farbad, but maybe that sort of concept up in more in the north.
If we did do something with Farbad, we could do Boromir passing through there.
Yeah.
And wasn't there some vague mention of a little bit of trouble he got into there?
Yeah. I'm not sure who he encountered, but the road was treacherous, he said.
Yeah. You can only imagine Dunlendings and and stuff like that. Obviously, my tendency with Arnor is to go towards what we know of Gondor, but you can't then discredit we've seen Bree and it looks completely different.
Yeah,
but then wasn't Bree made by men that settled there before the Númenóreans?
Bree's quite old. It's been built up and burnt down quite a few times.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Bree started off kind of looking a bit Arnorian or Gondorian. You know, that's why the bottom bit comes from all that stonework. And after it getting built up and knocked, this is just my own theory about it. Where it gets kept on getting built up and knocked down, by the time we get to where it is now, they don't have the craftsmen anymore. There's no Númenóreans left. So they've just built this ramshackle wood on top of a stone foundation for most of it.
Which has ended up with that
higgledy-piggledy look we know and love.
Yeah. And another idea that I put on by, the house in The Hobbit where they stop before the trolls. And
the farmhouse, yes.
Gandalf argues with Thorin.
Yeah.
And says, sod you then. Looking at that house, obviously that's got to be in some way Arnorian because of where they are.
No, can't spell Hobbit.
Yeah, you'd imagine it was built in that fashion, but it was. That was no offence to farmers, a lowly farmer's house, wasn't it, rather than a Dunedain settlement.
Well, I can't find that picture.
But it got me thinking. With the Númenórean farmers and things like that settled there, would they have maybe built the large white stone Gondorian architecture that we see kind of set houses, but with timber framing around it as well?
I used to think
rather than the ornate masonry work around an arched doorway, you just have timber frame and a timber limb.
Yeah. And I mean, without getting into sociology and the class system of the Númenóreans and Gondorians, you'd imagine for some reason I've always got it in my head that the North was a bit like in the UK, North-South divide. Riches down south, working class.
Didn't have plantiers, they had pigeons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry to anyone up north. I'm not sure.
No. It's grim up there. And I imagine they would have said the same about Arnor.
Yeah. Bunch of southern monkeys.
That's it.
See, all the Arnors just like, you my gum, lad.
I can't find a picture of that house now that I've said it.
No, nor can I. I've been searching for it.
And you've actually made a version of it, haven't you, already?
I have, yes. It's only...
Yeah.
I did. It's in the other room at the moment. It used to be there.
Yeah. So yes, go for it. Share your ideas, guys. What you're thinking of things I've said.
Well,
so
I'm kind of really liking, kind of really excited, and yeah, I think we can maybe go away, have another think and another planning meeting, and sort of just add to this interest board here with more ideas. Now we've got this discussed. I think where are we starting with first, though? Well, just to aim my focus.
Say that little bit again.
Where are we going to start with first? Are we going Fornost, or are we going with the board, the 3x4?
Well, I think for myself, the major project for me is going to be that
getting this all
3 foot by 4 foot board done.
Yep.
So I think my next step is going to working out what 1 foot by 1 foot sections I want in it. And then getting that built up. And I think within that I'll have lots of things to talk about how I perceive it. Because of I can't remember who. I think it's Alan Lee's paintings. Because of the colours he uses in some of the Northern Middle-earth pictures that he does, I have a particular palette in my head.
Yep.
So, like, what I really want to do when I start painting the rocks on stuff, I mean, passable rocks, whatever. But I want to get that kind of purpley, bluey hue that he has in some of his paintings.
Yeah.
To me, to distinguish, I made them to be Arnor. And that's how I see it in my head. You know, that does mean later on down the line, I'm going to make another load of rocky, hilly boards that then are Rohan. That's my problem to deal with. I told you earlier, drunk me is so much more clever. Normal me just gives myself problems.
So if you're going to knock out that board, then I'll make a start on some Fornos tiles. But it'd be useful to understand what sort of size we're going for on the board, whether we're going to do 4 or 6 sections and join them together, draw something out, plan something. Kev, I watched one of your videos recently where you're an advocate of planning and getting things down on paper. It makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Have we got a conceptual sketcher here amongst us that can sketch out ideas and then turn that into plans?
I can do us concept drawings and then do us working drawings.
Yeah,
and now, for everyone following along, watching us, we can make a. This is off the top of my head, so I don't know. We have to work it out. We can either put up on the website downloads for whatever I've done.
Yeah.
People can build along at home, or we can put stuff up on a bigger community Pinterest board or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be doing that anyway between the three of us.
Anyway, yeah.
And then the other thing I suppose to think about is keep it consistent on the Fornos board is materials. Obviously, Liam, you mentioned some earlier. I'm a big fan at the moment of the Hearst art blocks, mainly because I've remortgaged the house to collect
Hearst art blocks.
Yeah, to remortgage the house to build smaller model houses. So, but obviously they come in set dimensions, don't they? And we're going to want some consistency there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quickly sending you something on our chat group, which I know is not very good for people watching, but maybe Kev can work out a way of showing it.
Yeah, okay.
But it is some little tests that are already done. One working on the idea of the Gondorian stone, joined with timber frame. That's not my work, that's someone else's that I've seen.
Yeah.
That I just really liked. But then the other stuff that you'll see in the group is, I've shown you it before, Mike, a little Gondorian house that I was working on. Have you got them?
Whereabouts did you send them to?
On our Facebook group.
Okay, yep, okay. Hang on. I'll stop sharing my screen because I don't want people to see my Facebook. Ow.
You never know who will add you.
That's it. That's it.
I'd show it. I can only hope on people adding me.
Trying to get rid of people. I'm not very social.
Yeah. The teacher in me loves to plan.
You've got to have a plan. Right, all I do is
the artist in me just likes to wing it for a bit.
There you go. See what got that?
Yeah, so that's someone else's work. It's off of a really, really cool group on Facebook. Something like Foam Modelling Workshop.
Yeah.
It's really good. That's one of the ones that I've been working on.
So is that with plastic card covered in foam?
No, that's completely Styrodur.
Completely. I don't know if I've ever used it. Is it like, I'm imagining it's like florist? Is it the florist stuff? Or is it just like a version of pink or blue foam?
It's like high density polystyrene.
Yeah.
Okay,
The particles in it are so small that it just becomes really rigid and strong, but it takes detail great.
Yeah.
Like that, what you're looking at now, I knocked that up in, I don't know, an hour and a half. And
Nice.
It's just the sheets, like I said, for the walls are Fornost. Pencil measured out properly with ruler, the brick sizes and the lines and the runs and that. And then there's a German channel that I got this from that I can't think of the name. But if you go Black Magic Crafts, he has the guy as a special guest on his...
Oh, I've watched that video, yeah.
On his video about using hot wire cutters and stuff. So yeah, I used that to get the bricks, and then just rolled a big rock stone over it to get the texture.
My favourite technique for getting texture.
Yeah, but I think it works.
Yeah.
I put more time into it. It could be better.
Just done.
I do the tiles totally different.
Yeah.
They're all made out of card. I was trying to remember the thickness, but I can't. I'd make them out of plastic card this time round. Time consuming, but and yeah, I made that little door. Nice. I made the handle on it as well.
I've got some little rings in my collection I'm using for stuff like that. Jewellery rings. Which would be great for that.
Yeah, they work as well.
Yeah.
But I actually made that out of a piece of wire and bent it all.
Oh, nice.
What was I going to say? What I could do, is I could make us a section of the wall and make a section of the roof, cast it so that I can just send out flat panels to you guys as sheets already done to use, so that it all has that uniform.
That's it. Yeah, that could be an idea.
But in the same breath, I don't want to take away from you guys. You guys getting to
do something to discuss once we get to that stage.
Yeah,
near the stage. See how we feel. I know what you mean. Sometimes it's nice to do it yourself. Other times, just to get that uniform.
Another idea for the uniform and consistency is we're doing this so we could all just sit on here after we've decided the technique we want to use, and all sit on here and do it as a hobby hangout session.
Yeah.
And kind of guide each other and match up and go, yeah, mine looks like this. Oh yeah, it's, you know.
Yeah, could do that.
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Let's have a brainstorm about that and what materials are best to use. And
yeah,
I'll take my lead from you two guys as you've been, knocking this stuff out for years. But it might be useful as well putting some links to. I don't know if you can do it on here, to be honest, stockists and suppliers of this stuff as well. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. By the time the video goes out, Kev, if there's anything that I've mentioned that you don't know where to get,
I'll drop you a message. We can include them in.
And
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find. Yeah, I think that would be cool if once we've got a vision on the Arnor buildings, to all sit and just make them together.
I think so. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm actually
happy with that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. The other thing that I think I'd like to do. So we've spoken about wilderness and the Yangamar border.
Mm-hmm.
We've spoken about built-up city, with Fornost and that, and maybe other ideas like Tharbad. We've touched on ruinous things. I love the idea of trying to make a Weathertop when it's in use. Not a ruin.
Stomach's stammering over that. I was thinking that the other day. Now, when I was measuring, you asked me to measure the Weathertop dimensions of the model.
Yeah.
I sat there, I was thinking, wouldn't this be cool? Wonder what this would look like unruined, and wouldn't it be cool if it was unruined?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that in its heyday.
If you scroll down a little bit, as soon as you see it after that conversation, you'll be like, oh.
That here.
Yeah. And then there's another one as well.
I've just saw it out of the corner of my eyes. I clicked on it. Where is it? It's here.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those, yeah. When I saw them two, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
What is it going further out west? There's some towers before you get to
Holland.
No, before you get to Linden and Harland and all the elven stuff. What are they called? But I can't remember if they're elven made or man made.
Just after the Shire.
Sorry?
Is it just after the Shire?
Yeah.
You're talking about the town that we mentioned earlier with the long name beginning with A on the lake?
No, these are just towers that look out towards the west. I can't remember what they're called.
I have no recollection of those.
If we get to the end of this and we don't know what they're called, please somebody comment and save me from my misery.
Yeah, I mean, an Ammon Soul sort of in all its glory would be epic, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, amazing. And then that moves on to, see, people are going to think I'm an old pro at this. That moves on to the conversion board for me.
Cool.
So many maps, not one in Middle Earth near me.
Where then we can start thinking about some of the conversions that are put up here, and I've seen these conversions. When Kev puts it up on his screen, I've seen these conversions about everywhere, and I've taken them off for people. And thank you. I can't remember who to give credit to, but if you see something of yours, thank you very much for letting us be inspired by it and letting it appear on the channel. If you go back, it's a new board. It's another board that we've got called Arnor Conversions.
It's mainly got the miniatures on.
I think if you click on your little face up the top right hand corner, there you go. Yeah, so going through them right down towards the bottom. I think it is on mine. It might not be on yours. Yeah, there we go. Left-hand side, second in at the bottom. These guys for the Amon Sol Weathertop Plantier Guard.
So they're what, Citadel Guard?
Yeah,
Converted
with the sort of
Arnorian warrior
sort of headband.
Yeah, you could make up an epic little scenario there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You can.
Just as when I saw them, that is what sparked the idea to me of having the because there was a, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a Plantier kept at Weathertop.
Yeah.
And
there was, yeah.
I can't remember. In my head, I don't know if this is my canon or if I did it, but it got attacked and the Plantier got lost.
Yeah.
And when I saw these guys, I thought that'd be a wicked scenario to have the Amon Sol Guard, the Plantier Guard, in that siege of Weathertop when it's a fully built tower,
Yeah.
Cool. Liking it.
Did you like the way I seamlessly tied the two in there?
Segued in.
It'll be seamless after the edit, anyway.
I don't need no editing.
Nah, no filters, me.
I say that, and I watch it back now, and I will just be overdubbed by Shell.
By Cockney lass.
No, it's been a good chat.
We're gonna get you to overdub Liam in your Cockney accent. Because she's a Cockney.
Yeah, I think, Does everyone feel like they've got a bit
inspired, certainly?
Well, I have, yeah.
To get designing, get building.
Unfortunately, I've got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the trouble with being an adult.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah,
let's depress everyone on the it was all high and it's like, yeah.
So we got. I'm really liking the wilderness into Angmar. I think that's going to be epic.
Yep.
And the Fornos board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm thinking a big board for that though.
Yeah.
Like a proper 6x4 or something.
At least 6x4, I think.
At least, wow. And then an Amon Sol before it got
Yeah.
smashed.
I think that would be cool.
A lot to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting loads of ideas now because I need to read through the appendices again. Just go through different little events that happened. But wasn't there a virus outbreak in Rudar? That was
there was a number of different plagues, wasn't there?
Yeah,
that battered the population.
But I think there was a particular plague that started in Rudar, and it was set about by Angmar as kind of a biological warfare.
Yeah.
But a little scenario along the lines of that, with sort of these virus victims in the streets and just chaos everywhere.
So pretty much like where I
like
lived
I mentioned that at really the wrong time for the vet.
Yeah.
Is that a little bit too soon?
I mean, are we talking sort of zombie Dan walking around?
I don't know.
He's
Yeah, I think Shell might have said something that we shouldn't hear.
Oh no, she said that's a bit too close to home. I was asking.
Is that a little bit too soon? I'm thinking.
Might be too soon, but it ain't too close to home, is it? It happened in Middle Earth.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I did think that when I started saying it, but thanks for always being the voice of reason. Without a doubt, you will always put me in my place, won't you, Shell?
Every time.
This puts me in my place.
All right, so that was our first hobby hangout. Lots of discussions going on. I think we've all got lots of inspiration and ideas. If you've enjoyed it, comment, join in when we get down to actually making some stuff on these hobby hangouts. Build along with us. If there is interest, maybe we can do some live ones. Who knows? But until next time, this was Hobby Hangout from the Battling Barrow. And so like,
share,
and subscribe.